Hello, Reborn family. My name is Karen, and this is Making Reborn Dolls with Karen. We're back on this typical Thursday. We're going to be pulling the eyebrows out of Celeste. That is the scariest looking eyebrows I've ever seen. I don't like them at all, and I'm pulling them out. They're just ugly and scary. I tried and tried to make them work, trying to make them lay down, trying to get them to the right length, and I just don't like them. I don't like the color of them. I don't like the thickness of them. I don't like the length of them. I don't like the angle of them. There's nothing about them that I like, so they're coming out. And then we're going to glue her hair and Paisley's hair. Luckily, I don't have to pull anything out of Paisley, so okay, there's that. That's good. I am saving my same sponge to do the hair on these other dolls before I put it away. Throw it away and clean my hemostats again. This is some delicate work pulling out eyebrows. Her eyelashes need some more trimming too. I'm going to do that as well. Back in there in the bedroom where it's kind of dark, you can't really see if you're getting them straight or what. If you've got enough trimmed off or anything like. Oh, my arm hurts so bad. Her eyelashes are quite sloppy. Oh my goodness. I've gotten quite good at eyelashes, but I did hers quite a while ago, so they're not all that good, but they're okay. They'll pass. But these eyebrows will not. They are just deplorably awful. I know practice makes perfect, but when it's not perfect, you want to pull it out. Maybe in some future dolls I can do a little better, but not this one. This one looks terrible. It's hard to tell if you're getting it out or if there's still some in there. Just got some stubble. Can't really grab it hardly. It's so tiny. Tiny little pieces of stubble. That's pretty good. Most of her eyebrows that I drew on are still there. I'm just going to draw them a little bit darker. Just a little, because they can get scary drawn on too. That's good to me. I don't know. Now I'm going to pull her polyfill out. Let me throw all this hair away I pulled out of her. Quite a lot of hair for eyebrows, I think. I'll pull this polyfill out while I can, and then we're going to glue her head. I have heads all over my table. After this episode, when I stop this episode part 2, I may have to take a little break till these heads dry a little, but so I can move them to another location. I can move them now, but I don't really like to move them when they're drying. And I don't know. I may not get to doing a doll today. I don't know. I have so much to do. And then all this is necessary. I just don't do it at the moment that I finish the doll. I'm always putting the doll aside to let the glue dry or something. And I'm usually starting a new doll. So when I say a doll in a day, I don't mean putting them together and all that, because hair has to happen first, and then, you have to just do stuff in the right order. You have to wait for certain events to happen, like glue to cure and stuff like that, and it just takes a while. And then after that, you can actually start doing the finishing touches, which is putting them together and stuff like that. Celeste does not have a magnet. I'm not giving her one because she's probably staying in my collection. And I don't want pacifiers in my dolls. I don't want to have to be old enough to get a pacemaker or something and then have to have the magnets taken out of the dolls. I don't really care about magnets anyway, so that's not a big deal to me. I don't care if they have magnets. They don't need pacifiers. But so I just think it's a waste of magnets to put a magnet in a doll you're never going to put a pacifier on. You know, if I do ever sell them, I'll just sell them as babies that don't have pacifier magnets. Or donate them. They make good donate babies because they don't have pacifier magnets. I did accidentally put one in one doll. I can't remember which one it was. And I just didn't take it back out. I don't remember which one it was now. But it was not a good idea to put it in there. I know that. This is probably all I can get out. The rest of it's very tightly bound. I'm just pulling and pulling to get that out. Okay, we're just going to pour the glue in now. Okay, Paisley, you're going to have to get off of that because I have to have it for this head. I like them to be completely upside down when I pour the glue in. One of these little 8-ounce jars usually will do 2 to 3 dolls, depending on how much you put in there, how big the head is, how much polyfill still left in there, you know, lots of different factors like that. But it'll usually do several dolls. And we do want enough glue to do the job. Now these are going to come undone because I want them to stay together. Isn't that the way everything always happens? You want them to come apart, they won't come apart. You want them to stay together, that's all they'll do is come apart. Yep. For real, it's all it'll do is come apart. If it lets go of that sponge, I might have to leave it in the head. I might not can get it back out. That is super bound. Super in there, super tight, super gluey. Want to make sure we're getting some on those eyelashes because they could actually come out. Not much polyfill is against them when you're rooting, so they're not bound real tight to anything. So you want to make sure they're getting glue on them for sure. And if you have an open-eyed doll and you want glue on the eyes, this is a great time to do that as well. And if they have a magnet, you can also put more around their magnet. But you're not going to get a tight bond on a magnet with any Mod Podge. But it is a little bit of extra protection, let's put it that way. Just a little bit. But her eyelashes are not going to come out now. Neither is her hair. It's just not going to happen. I can tell you from experience, it's not going to happen. But a lot of people would never root with polyfill in the head. But I'm telling you, if you're having trouble getting any hair to root, put some polyfill in the head. You'll find it's turning around quite quickly for you. Roots very well and it stays. The head just gets this super good bond with the hair does with that polyfill. There we go. Now we're going to brush her hair a little bit. She's not going to be on a body today because I don't have it, but she's looking cute. I like her better without the bushy eyebrows. She still has some scraggly hairs I need to get off of her, but she's looking very, very cute, and I like her. Now we have Paisley next. Paisley has red hair. I gave her the fiery red hair. I wanted to do a doll with red hair, and it was Paisley. Was the one that came up to do with red hair. She needs a little bit more trim on her hair, but she's looking pretty good to me. And we're going to get her glued as well. Don't put that by the glue. I'm just going to pull out what I can, and we're just going to... Does she have a magnet? No, she does not. Just put anything metallic up to their lips, and you can see if they have a magnet. She does not. That's good. Paisley's in my collection as well. Yes, I like dolls. I like certain dolls. When Frankie gets here, he's going to be in my collection. And Dean, he's going to be in my collection. I've got Aspen and Leaf and Awake Aspen all coming. Possibly will be in my collection. I don't know yet if I want to sell them as triplets, as twins, as single dolls. You know, I could sell Awake and Asleep Ashley as twins. And then I could sell Leaf separately, or I could sell them as triplets. I just don't know what way I want to do it yet. People generally do not want to buy multiples. And now if your price was cheap enough, they probably would. Like if you said, okay, the price for this doll is $400 to get the pair, it's going to be $800. You're not selling that doll probably. You're not selling that. But if you go, oh, $400 for Leaf and Aspen's thrown in for free, sure, they'll take it. They'll take that. But people are generally looking for cheap. They want the prettiest doll they can get for the cheapest amount of money. And most people do not want to spend a lot of money on a reborn. They just don't. So you're going to hold them for a while. You will build a reputation that you make real nice dolls and that your price is worth it. You will build that eventually, but it's going to take a while. So don't get discouraged if you're not selling dolls. The market's not real good right now for doll sales. However, income tax returns should be out or almost out for most people. And so people may be buying with income tax returns. I'm not sure. I was expecting to get at least 2 or 3 sales out of income tax returns, but it's already April and doesn't seem to be happening. So, okay, I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if people are just being more careful with their money or what. But it's kind of hard to sell dolls when people don't have money. And you know most of the world's not working anymore. Well, most of the United States anyway. I don't know what they're doing in other countries. But Americans have gotten very lazy. A really, really lot of them don't even work anymore. Because they found out the government will support them. And it's just much easier to sit home and draw a check and food stamps and all that. They don't really care if they work anymore. So, okay, there's that. So we are getting Paisley all glued up here. I'm going to get it all over this polyfill, all over her eyes, her open eye sockets in the back here, so they'll stay closed. Not that this glue is real strong or anything, but I think it'll glue that shut. This isn't super strong glue like for pacifiers or anything, you know. But if you've already got glue on your pacifier magnet and it's in the head and you just want to coat a little bit of this on it for extra protection or something, it certainly will work. And we just want to divvy it around all over in here. And you can do it so much faster with this, with this messy sponge than you can with the throwaway paintbrushes. I found that out. I was using those throwaway paintbrushes for this job, and yeah, it works. It works, don't get me wrong. But it takes a while. I usually had to put 2 or 3 of them together to get enough bristles to even move it around hardly. And it takes a bit longer to move it around. You're going to be scooping it around in there for quite a while versus just a minute or 2 with this. And it's just a preference. Whatever you want to do is fine. I just want to do it faster. And because there's a lot of polyfill in there, it's a little bit harder for me to get my glue to go around. So I want the best chance to get it all over in there as I can get. Now, if you change your mind on this hair after you glue it, it's probably not going to come out. I had a doll, and it was a girl doll, but I wanted it to be a boy doll. But it had this long hair. And I guess I could have cut the hair, but I didn't really make the doll, and I just bought it, and the hair was very brittle and it was breaking off, and I didn't like it anyway. I had always had dolls that were either bald or had penciled or painted hair. I didn't have any with real hair. That was the only one that I had like that, and I didn't like it. So I had this lady that was working on some of my dolls for me to make them look better and stuff. I had her remove the hair the best she could. And she was having trouble removing it, so she took a razor and she shaved the doll. Kind of weird, I know. Okay, I can't get this open. That is too weird. Why won't it come open? Oh, this is terrible. This is what I don't like about hemostats. Okay, there, it let go finally. Oh, that is so gluey. Ick. This is why I have baby wipes on my table. Well, they're not on my table, but they're by my table. Because I can do this and clean it off. And it's quick and easy. I don't know about Mod Podge, how long you have to clean it off. It's already starting to dry on these hemostats. But stuff like Eileen's paper glaze, as long as it's still wet, it's water washable. With soap and water washable. But this is starting to dry. But since it's a very slick surface like scissors, it's coming off. See, it's just coming off in a drier form. But you get it all down in these edges where the scissors open and close and stuff, you might have a problem. I may be going back to throwaway stuff. This is terrible. I'm not a fan of cleaning things, especially if it's hard to clean. And this looks like it's going to be hard. Before, I didn't do but one doll and I cleaned it. And so I just clamped the scissors down, the hemostats down on the baby wipe, and it just came out of the grooves. It just soaked up into the baby wipe and came right off. But I don't think it's going to do that this time. I think I'm going to have to do a little scrubbing on this. I don't know. It's coming out pretty good. Just by doing this, the wetness of the baby wipe is sort of getting it out. But it's not ideal, let's put it that way. You'd want to have it a bunch cleaner than this, ideally. Yeah, this is kind of messy. I can't tell now. It's so squishy wet, I can't tell if it's off. Realistically, we're never going to use them in surgery, so they don't have to be perfect. They just have to still clamp, you know. If they have a little residue on them, oh well. That's what I say. Anyway, all 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other doll that I did earlier, whatever doll that was, are all ready now to go on their bodies. I believe I have all... Ooh, I've got to clean that too. Okay. I believe I have all their limbs ready. I'm not sure. I have some limbs behind me. I think they're Mary's and Sylvia's limbs, though. But once you get the doll to a certain point and the glue's dry and everything, there's still a little bit of glue in here. I'm going to save it. And the glue's dry and everything, you can actually go on and fill those limbs with their glass and their polyfill and have them ready, just like I had the ones I already put together ready. Let's see. Emmy and that other doll over there have bodies over here already ready. And in the bin we still have Clover and Jasper's little limbs. I could probably put Jasper together too. He's probably okay enough to put together. I don't know yet for real if he is. But I got a bunch of little limbs here. These are his limbs. Their limbs. Clover's and Jasper's. I just have everything in this bin over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one more. Where is it? Uh-oh. Oh, it's right there. Okay. They're slightly different, these limbs are, because even though I tried to paint them the same, they didn't come out exactly the same. Now, it doesn't matter which one gets which limbs, but I think their limbs need to match. Oh, crap. There we go. They have a slightly different color to them. So I'm kind of looking them over to see how they're different. That one doesn't look any different than that one to me. They look identical. Let me see the other two arms. Pretty identical. They don't look any different to me now. They don't look any different at all. So let's go with those two. And those two. And these. Okay. That looks good. Let me get a body for that. I believe this is one of them. I believe this is one of those little tiny bodies. But I'm going to get another one out to compare it with, just to make sure. I'm laying these scissors out like this to let them dry. This looks like one of them too. These are those little tiny 15 to 17 inch bodies. See how little they are? They are not big like they're little. See, they're this little. And this is the 19 inch bodies. Doesn't look much different in the bag, but when you open them up, they're slightly different. But Jasper and Clover will be getting these little tiny bodies. I'm going to go on and stuff their bodies. First thing I'm going to do is connect these zip ties. They will drive you nuts if you're trying to do it with the body already filled and you're trying to put the limb on. You'll go nuts trying to do it. Clip off most of this because it's in the way. Yep, I used to just do this all the time. I took one big Ziploc bag and I'd put all the 15 to 17 inch bodies in there, but they'd all be having their zip ties hooked like this and the excess cut off like that. Well, that didn't cut all the way through. Okay. And that would make it easier when it's time to put the doll together. That much is already done. I just did it in spare time when I didn't have anything to do. A lot of times I didn't want to really start on another doll or anything, and I just would be waiting for a doll to come out of the oven or to cool or something, and I'd just sit down and I'd do this for a while, and then when I was ready to go back to painting, I'd stop, and then later I'd pick it back up, and it saves a little time, and it makes it feel like the chores you don't really like to do, like I don't like putting dolls together. Go a little faster because you prepared ahead of time, like getting the limbs ready ahead of time and stuff like that. It's not required, of course, but I mean, you know. Now, when you're making little tiny dolls like fairies and stuff, you have to decide, do I want to weight them or do I want them to be teddy bear weight? By teddy bear weight, I mean mostly, of course, the arms are going to have some glass in them. And that's because you cannot stuff this arm where you can get stuffing all the way down to here. You can't do it. I've tried. In fact, if you're going to just put one thing in there, you'd be better to just fill it up with glass and put a plug in it. But I don't use plugs, so I don't do that. But if you're just going to use one thing to fill it up, is what I meant. But when you're trying to make little bitty fairies, do you want them light? Do you want them as heavy as a regular doll? Do you want them a little lighter than that? What do you want? They're all automatically going to be lighter because they are not going to have as much room for glass and stuff. That tiny little arm can only hold a tiny bit of glass. So if you don't put any weight into the body itself, you're going to have a very light teddy bear weight doll, which is fine if that's what you're trying to achieve. But I want them a little heavier. So I'm going to put my regular bag of glass in there. This is about 1 pound to 1.25 pounds, something like that, of glass. It's a pre-measured amount that I scientifically determined at one time on an average size doll would make the doll 4 to 5 pounds if you filled the limbs up to a certain point and all that. It's actually 2 of these. And so no matter what size doll I'm using, I think that's a good amount of glass to go inside of them. And so the problem with the little dolls like this one, though, is can you cover that with enough polyfill that you can't feel it. So you risk having to feel it. And I don't do a bunch of little different bags because I think it wastes your stockings. You have to just keep cutting and making more bags. I used to do it that way. And then I decided, what difference does it really make? I mean, seriously, what difference does it make if it's 1 bag or 3 bags? If they weigh the same together as this bag, why does it matter? Some people want the weight to be a little at the bottom, a little at the top. Okay, I understand that. I don't care. I don't care if there's any at the bottom and the top. Just as long as there's weight inside the doll, that's all that matters to me. And if somebody doesn't like the weight of the doll or the way I've distributed the weight, they're free to open it up and change it. Once they get the doll, people have done it before. I just don't think I don't think you can really tell the difference. I can't. Maybe I'm just not perceptive enough to tell the difference. But when you have a doll that's weighted with one big bag or a doll that's weighted with 2 or 3 smaller bags, the only way you would tell the difference is if you're unable to cover those bags with glass with polyfill, and you can feel the bag of glass. That's all I know that would be the difference. Some people think if there's no weight at the top, it's not going to flop right or sit right or something like that. I don't make floppy dolls anyway unless somebody specifically says, hey, make me a doll and I want it to be floppy. Then I would make it floppy. But otherwise, I don't make floppy dolls. So one bag is great for me. Now, if you want to make a floppy doll, you're probably going to need to put some weight at the top. And if you just want to put one bag in, you're going to want to have it a higher center of gravity. I like it at the bottom. I just do. I don't know why. I just do. And I don't really have a reason. I just do it that way. And it's just easier to me. And it works out really well usually in my dolls. Rarely can you ever feel any part of the glass. Rarely. Sometimes if it's real obvious, I'll go on and redistribute the polyfill. But if it's just slight, like, oh, I feel a teeny bit right here or something, I don't do it. I just leave it. It's not that big of a deal. Everybody knows there's glass inside that doll. But as you're holding the doll and interacting with the doll, you're not going to be going, where's that glass now? Can I find it? People are just not going to do that. I mean, unless they're strange. Strange people might do it. But I don't know. You get what I'm saying, I think. That might be about enough stuffing for this tiny little body. See how little it is? It's very, very little. I'm going to put the legs on. See, these legs look like 3/4 legs, but they intend them to be full. When you put them on there, he's just going to look like his legs are way spread apart like that, which I don't like that look. I would normally put him on a 3/4 body, but his arms aren't 3/4. And they don't make bodies really where the arms are going to be full and the legs are going to be 3/4. Not for his size anyway. Now, if you had that little tiny, tiny body, I think Claire has it. I think her arms or her legs, one, have that little jointed body for full limbs. They make that. It's a body that you can actually put the full limbs on, but it still makes it a jointed body. And it's real cute, and it does make their limbs do right. They look like they're hanging right that way. Because this doesn't look right to me. I did get an outfit for Jasper, and I'm going to go get it and put it on him. I want you to see him put together. Clover is not ready yet, but he will be as soon as I can do his hair. And we'll put him together as well. I'm going to do his body today and get it ready. But I want you to see Jasper in his little outfit. His outfit is not super fairy looking because I just don't know what fairies are wearing. And so I just got him an outfit. It's a preemie outfit. Looks a little bit like pajamas. It's just cute. If you're a little fairy, you might wear something like that. I don't know. I just thought it was cute. And the other one is a girlish pattern. And so I'm going to make Clover into a girl, I think. Well, anyway, he's gonna wear girl clothes. We don't even know if Clover's a girl or a boy name. We don't know. Oh, them armholes are so huge for such a tiny little fairy arm. There we go. Get in there. that is super wrinkly looking because, well, the you have to crimp up so much of the body to get it around that tiny, tiny arm. They used to make a different body that I thought Clover and Jasper should go on. Bountiful Baby has discontinued a lot of their bodies in favor of combining one body for a lot of dolls. And it's to their advantage, I guess, because some of those bodies just probably weren't selling very good. And they're going, for all the people that buy Clover and Jasper, they can just use that body, you know. It saves us from having to carry a body that we hardly ever sell any of. I'm now looking for Caleb to be on sale because I bought his body. And at the time he was on sale, I didn't buy him because his body wasn't even in stock. And then all of a sudden his body was in stock, but it was too much. They wanted like $23 for that teensy-weensy little body for Caleb. And now look, see, he looks like he has a hunchback. See that? That's what I'm talking about when I said be careful how you stuff your doll. If you don't have enough stuffing in the front droops down. See how it's drooping down? And he looks like he has a hunchback. I don't want a hunchback fairy, so I'm going to give him a little more stuffing. I've had a little bit of mixed feelings from people on how they thought Jasper looked. Some people are saying he looks awesome, while other people are saying cut his hair shorter. And I don't really know what I want to do, but I'm putting him together just the way he is today. And whenever I decide I want to cut his hair more, well, I can still do that while he's put together. But today, he's going to be put together like he is. Let's move some of that to the front here so he doesn't have a hunchback. There we go. Now, here's his head right here. And it's so cute. I just think he's adorable. I love the way he looks. And a lot of people may not, but I do. So we're going to get him on his body, and he's going to be born today. His brother won't be born, or sister, rather, won't be born till another day because not rooted yet. I'm going to run get his outfit. And I'll get her outfit too so you can see how cute their outfits are. They sort of look like they could go together, but yet not alike. Let me go get it. Oh, crap. This is Jasper's. It's got little bitty airplanes and stuff on it. It's just cute, 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 I think. And this is going to be Clover's. It looks girlish to me, but I guess a boy could wear that. But it's got hot air balloons and birds. And to me it looks girlish, but it just says for kids. And they advertise them as unisex, so I don't really know if it's good for a boy or not. But I'm going to lay this one up here, and I'm going to put Jasper's on him. It's a preemie size. Hopefully it won't swallow him still. And I'll put him a diaper on later. I just want to see how he looks in his outfit. Whew, I'm out of breath. This outfit costs $11, I think. Can you believe that? This tiny little outfit costs $11. But I don't know how he should wear it. Sit up, Jasper. He could wear it with the shirt tucked in because it has a different high waist to it. They look like pajamas to me. I don't know. They don't usually make preemie pajamas, but these look like pajamas to me. But he's going to be all ready for bed in his little jammies because they're just adorable. And he's got little covers to cover his hands. Not that fairies are going to scratch themselves, but they're there if you want to use them, you know. And I think he's going to be adorable. I don't know. I think once I get him posted, he might even actually sell. Because there are people who are in the market for little fairies. They like them, and if they're cute, they want to add them to their collection. I sold almost all the fairies I made to one lady. The same lady. And she's probably given up on me making any more fairies because it's been such a long time since I did. I just really sort of gave up on him, but this is swallowing him up. The neck on this is super big. Usually if you wash the clothes and dry them in the dryer, they'll shrink a bit. I noticed that about some of the clothes that I had previously had on some of my dolls. Well, I'm going to use Presley as an example. When I got him from the nursing home, he was wearing a certain outfit, and it was, I had to wash it. And when I got it out of the washing machine and dried it and everything, it was much smaller. I could tell it was probably not going to fit him anymore. And so I put a different outfit on him. But there's a chance if I wash this, it'll fit Jasper a little bit better. But right now, I'm not going to wash it. This waistband on this is super tight. Okay. Does anybody remember? I used to wear them. Maybe you wore them too when you were a little kid. They used to have these pajamas. When you got too big for footy pajama, well, sleepers. Let's put it that way. When you got too big for a sleeper, they had these pajamas that were just footy pajamas. They were two pieces like this, but the bottoms had little feet in them still to keep your feet warm, and they snapped together in the middle to make almost like a little outfit, but it was pajamas. And that's what these remind me of, even though they don't have any snaps in them. They have this really tight waistband. Oh, come on, Jasper, put your feet down. There we go. And see that has this big, big waistband on it with a fat piece of elastic in it. And they remind me of those little footy pajamas I used to wear when I was a little kid. And I remember those pajamas because you had to go get your mama to unsnap them so you could go to the bathroom, because they snapped in the back too and you couldn't reach it. And I go, unsnap me, you know. I wore them, I was about 2 or 3, I wore them then. And yes, we were potty trained, because back in the day, everybody potty trained their kids on a schedule. Like by the time they were 2, they didn't even have accidents anymore, because you had another kid coming along and they had to wear diapers, and you didn't want to have 2 kids in diapers, especially not a big old kid. Okay, there he is in his little outfit. The neckline is a little bit baggy on him, but it's cute. I think it's cute. I think he looks adorable. Y'all can drop a little comment. Can you see him even? I can't even tell if you're seeing him. And tell me what you think of his little outfit. It's so cute. And how you think he looks and all that. I think he's adorable. If he doesn't sell, I won't mind at all keeping him. He's so cute. I just love him. He's adorable. But I think he's going to sell. But anyway, Jasper. Now, we're going to put Clover's arms and legs together as well. Here's Clover. He still doesn't have any hair. He's going to wear the girly outfit. I can put it on his body because he'll have his arms and legs on, but he won't have a head. He'll look real funny. He's sitting over here waiting for me to go do his hair. And I'm going to do it probably sometime today, but not on camera, because it's too hard to root on camera. I need to sit comfortably. Oh, I got to hook all these stupid things. I hate having to do that. To me, this is tedious work, putting the doll together. I wish I had an assistant that could sit over here and put the doll and go, here, put it together now, you know. And then I'll start working on another one right away. Even though Lavender just got her glue, she's mostly dry over there. I'm not going to put her together, but I could put the glass and stuffing in her arms and legs and get them ready. And I have a couple more. I think it's Mary's and Sylvia. I think it's Sylvia. But it's Case and Sylvia, I think. I think Mary's is already done. But, oh, lovely. I think I did this backwards. I can't see how that's going to straighten out. See how that looks? It's all twisted. I can't see how that's going to straighten out. I may be cutting that zip tie. We're going to find out when we put the doll together, but I may be cutting it. In fact, I should probably find out right this very moment. Give me that leg first. Oh, it's not that one. It's this one. If it doesn't straighten out. Sometimes it's so crooked you can't even see that it's going to straighten out, but as you're tightening it, it just straightens out. and you have it straight. Oh, this is so much trouble. It's not going to straighten out, I don't think. It's got a kink in it, I think. When you get a kink like that, you have to cut the zip tie. Here we go, we're going to cut it. It's not going to straighten out, I can tell. Huh? And yet, maybe it is. I don't know. Sometimes they're so kinked, you just can't tell they're going to straighten out. And then all of a sudden, they just straighten out. But that has got a twist in it. I can feel it. Before it gets any tighter and makes it harder to cut, I'm going to cut it right now. Well, at least I think I'm going to. Let's put it that way. See, it's twisted like 2 times. Each side is twisted. Just get rid of it. That was exactly what I was talking about the zip ties can get so twisted up because they're loose. If they're connected, they don't get twisted up like that. And other companies zip their zip ties up, and you don't have that problem. But Bountiful Baby does not do it, and it usually is not a problem. Usually they're just circled around and they fit just fine. But if you're cramming them in a drawer like I'm doing, you're putting them crooked, and they're going to have a bit of a problem later. Maybe, not always. But it's definitely something to think about when you're putting your zip ties away. Put them away, your bodies away. Put them away nice and straight. Don't just cram them in a drawer like I do. This fabric has to bunch up so much because his legs are so tiny that you can't even hardly get the zip tie to close tightly, if you know what I mean. It's because there's just a bunch of folded up fabric in that crevice. It's really a lot easier to cut the zip ties if you haven't already stuffed the body yet. See, very, very easy. I usually put the arms and legs on before I stuff the body, but not always. Just little tricks like that you figure out over the years on doing things. And you go, that was much easier. I put it on first. I think I'll do that all the time now, like that. And they just little tricks you just learn. "99 times out of 100, the limbs are going to move. You don't have to worry about, I didn't test the limbs before I tightened up that zip tie. It's not going to matter. They're going to either move or not move, either way you go. And if they don't move, you're going to have to cut them off anyway. And it's going to happen whether you tested them or not. It's just that way. They either move or they don't move. Can't wait till my little stamper gets here. I'll stamp them on their little booty down there and put your logo on them. That's cute. I've been thinking about doing that. And then I was telling Regina about it, and then she told me she had one. I go, oh my goodness, I'm getting one. I'm freaking getting one. And she told me she got hers from Amazon, so that's where I went and got mine. Yeah, I'm a copycat. I own it. But isn't that what we kind of do anyway? We learn from each other and get our ideas from each other and sort of do what other people do because we see how far apart them legs look. That's just ridiculous. But still, all in all, even if we get an idea from another artist, we shouldn't claim it as ours. Oh, I figured this out. No, you got it from somebody else. You shouldn't do that. You should give that person the credit. Like, hey, Regina told me this, or so-and-so showed me this, or whatever. You give them the credit because they're the one that taught you to do it. Oh, I can't reach these bags. Oh, that bin of bags is so far back. I have to really stretch my arm under there to get it. Okay, get in there. He's not going to have his head today, but he will have the rest of his limbs. Get in there. Usually just shaking it in like that works. Okay, let's sit him down. Ugh, they don't sit good with these legs either. If you turn them up enough for them to sit down, their feet are pointing to the sky. I don't like this kind of leg configuration on a doll. I always try to get that other body that like Caleb has. This doll can't take it because they have full, see, the legs go like that if you sit them up enough, if you turn them enough for them to sit up. Because this doll has full limbs. But dolls that have, little small dolls that have 3/4 limbs, they don't necessarily have to have that body they recommend. They're going to recommend that 17-inch body with 3/4 limbs and full legs, and their legs are going to look like this too. But instead, I use Caleb's body, which is a little bit smaller, so they turn out to actually be a preemie. And also, their legs will be on a 3/4 body, so they look a little more natural. They hang a little better. Little Caleb also is a very, very tiny little micro preemie. He's only 13 inches, I think, but he has skinny, long arms. Real skinny, like he was super premature when he was born. And he makes a cute baby. I've made him several times. And I actually have an outfit over here that I got made by a lady. It's all crocheted. It's very, very cute. And I'm going to save it for Caleb. Here's the overalls. They have a little car on them. They're little embroidered overalls. And then here's the little shirt that goes underneath it. It's very, very short, but it goes underneath it to be his shirt. Then he's got the booties and the hat. I don't see the other booty though. Here it is. Here's his other booty. The booties are way big, I can tell you that right now. I can tell by the way they look. They're going to be way big. They're slightly a different color too. I wonder why. Huh. Must have ran out of that one color and got another color. But they're just cute. They're little crocheted overalls. And I'm saving them for Caleb. I bought them for actually another doll, but it were too little. And so I said, oh, I'll just save them for Caleb. I'll make Caleb one day. I've made a Caleb before, but I was a pretty new artist, and he didn't turn out very good. And so, I don't know, I want to make him again. I want to do him justice this time. I made him bald. Now, he's got really skinny arms. The openings in his arms are so tiny that when I made him before, I didn't even put any polyfill at all in his arms and legs because they were too skinny. I filled him up all the way to the brim with glass, and then I put glued down a cosmetic round or something onto his opening so they couldn't come out. And that's what I did for him because he, like I said, super, super skinny little arms. You can't even get the polyfill to go in there. It's so tiny. The opening in the arm is so tiny. It's almost not one, if you know what I mean. There's almost not an opening. Anyway, I want to do him again. I think I can do him much better this time. He'll actually get hair and all that. And, you know, a lot of them tiny, tiny little preemie babies have a head full of hair. Some of them are super bald, but some of them have a head full of hair. Okay, there's his body, but he's not on it because, well, I don't have him finished. But I can put his clothes on all the same. He just won't have a body. And his clothes are cute too. And they're just adorable, I think. But the neck hole is very big on these clothes. So I may wash them and try to make them shrink a bit so that they will fit. And I may have to take the clothes off and put the head on. I don't really know. But these do look like pajamas to me. Do y'all think they look like pajamas? I do. Anyway, I got to see 2 people open their boxes. I'm still waiting for Mama Glow to open hers. She said she'd do it online, but I don't see it anywhere online. So I don't know if she's done it already. I didn't look today because I've been busy, but I looked all over everywhere multiple times yesterday, and I never saw anything posted about it. So I don't know if she's done it or not, and I just can't find it or what. But I don't know. Anyway, there's his little pajamas. And the neck hole is very big on these as well. Like I said, it's a good chance they would shrink in the washing machine. Can't do it yet until the dryer gets fixed. But when it does, okay, we're going to be doing it probably. I'll be washing these. They'll fit better and they'll smell good. They'll smell like Downy or something instead of, you know how new clothes smell. Whatever that is that makes them smell that way. They just smell like new clothes, you know. But they'll smell like something good. Downy. Oh, crap. Oh, scared me to death. That's an eBay sound, but I guarantee you you're watching this item still. Did you know it? I guarantee it's that. I'll be real surprised if it's anything else. It doesn't even show. Yeah. It doesn't even show up what it is yet. Sometimes it takes a while after you hear the ding for it to actually show the message. I'll go back later and look at it. Where's your toes, kiddo? Get them out here. Oh, crap. This is hard to dress. These clothes are slippery. They're kind of silky-like. They have a silky kind of texture to the top of them, and it makes them hard to maneuver around on the doll. They just are slippery, and trying to get them to pull up and everything, they just don't want to do it. Oh, come on. That elastic is super tight. If this was a real baby, this size, you'd be going, I think that's going to suffocate my baby. That's so tight. Do I want my baby to have that tight of elastic around its belly? And I think the answer would be no. You'd almost want to get them newborn size because that is just too tight of elastic to me. Now their shirt could go on the outside, but I tucked it in because I wanted to see how it looked with, okay, how does this go anyway? Okay, goes this way a little bit. You don't get those seams in the right place. It just looks funky. For one thing, it looks like you don't know how to dress a baby. And then the baby just looks funny. But anyway, I like this high waist on it, but the problem is it's a little too high. I'm going to turn it down a little and let it just be like that. And that's cute, I think. Now, he could have his shirt on the outside, but for right now, we're going to leave it like that. But see how their legs look like they're just sprawled out all the time? Instead of going like this. Now, they used to make front-loading bodies. These are side-loading. And if this was a front-loading body, the legs would sit this way, which would look way better to me. I don't like them sitting this way. They don't look good. But oh well. Nobody asked my opinion. This is the body we get to put him on. So this is the body he has to have. So I got all these bodies ready now for the heads, which is a good thing. And now I'm going to actually fill up, stuck to the pole. This is what I was talking about yesterday. You get a little bit of glue on this part right here, and it's sticking to the pole. They're stuck to the pole. I have to pull them off. Hold on. Oh, that one came right off. They usually just come right off, but you have to pull exactly straight up to get them off. So I'm just going to fill these with some glass. For the most part, they are dry. They're dry enough that nothing's going to stick to them, like pieces of glass or something. And it's going to get down in his arms and everything. Her arms. I think this is Lavender's. Thank goodness they put the names on the rims, or else you wouldn't be able to figure out. I wouldn't be able to. You might could, because you're probably doing one doll at a time and putting them together before you start another one. Me, I'm doing this, and then I'm putting the limbs over in this bin with a whole bunch of other limbs because, well, just what I do. And then when I get ready to start putting dolls together, these dolls will go together on Monday. I'm assuming by then I'll have my bodies and I'll be able to put them together. Some of the dolls need a bigger body than I actually have, and some of them need different configurations in the limbs than what I have. So, yeah. And so I just get the limbs ready like this. It just makes everything go so much faster when you're working on your dolls, getting them put together. I'm still going to get Mary and Sylvia down and see if they need pacifier magnets. They probably do. Oh, that's too much. It won't go in. You don't want to put too much. If it's popping out like this, and then you're trying to turn it in the body, there's no need to have any Isleys paper glaze here because this is going to catch on it. So you don't want too much. You want it to stay inside. If it's not staying inside, you need to pull a little bit out. Yeah, you want it tight. You sure do. See how that's still white right there, but it's dry. I can still put the glass in and the polyfill, and it won't come off on my finger. But now if it was pressed down to a body, that would bust open, and that wet glue inside of there would go on and come out, and it would make the body stick. So that's why we don't put the, see, it's still right down in this crevice too. It's still white. Can you see it? We need to make sure all that's clear before we start putting the doll together. And that's our test. You just need to wait enough time for that to happen. Sometimes it's overnight, sometimes I just wait. I don't do it in any sort of fast way. I just let it sit and sit and sit. To me, you can't let it wait too long. There's no such a thing as waiting too long, but there is such a thing as not waiting long enough. And the more cured it is, the better. And so I always put the glue on right away, and then the doll has to wait for its hair for its turn, because I'm always behind on hair because, well, it takes longer to do hair than it does to make a doll. And if I don't just stop working on dolls for the day and just start working on hair exclusively, I'm going to have several heads waiting in line. I've got Mary, Sylvia, Case, Lavender, Kyrie, and Jasper. All either done or almost done, waiting for hair. So, yeah, it's a busy, busy job. I like to be busy, though. I don't like to be idle, so. Well, that's too much. Now it's coming out easier because I've pulled so much out of the front of the bag that when I grab for a bundle, it pulls out a lot. Now I can get Lavender's body ready also as well, because I have a body her size, but I don't have, she's not ready to go on it. She's still too wet. So rather than do that, I'm just going to wait, because sometimes I get confused. Whose body was this supposed to be now? The limbs are already attached and I can't tell like that. So luckily I can tell Emmy's from, I can put Emmy on her body. She's close enough to dry. I can actually do that. I don't need to leave her sitting on the table any longer. That's just too much sticking out. Let's leave that out. Okay. Okay, there. So I'm going to put this polyfill up, and I'm going to get Emmy and, is it JC, I think, are both ready to go on their bodies. Now, let's move Clover and Jasper. So this is Emmy's body. I can tell because these are Maya limbs. Maya has one really straight leg and one slightly bent leg. So this is going to be Emmy's body. And here's Emmy. And she's going to go on this body. And we're going to just get her right on it. I got to push this polyfill down a little more. I had it nice and down, but you know, polyfill tends to want to expand up. And if you're not putting the head right on, it's going to expand up a little bit, and you're going to have to re-push it. I know it's crude looking for me to do this with my teeth, but you need to be an octopus to put dolls together. Literally, you could use 8 arms. And since we don't have that, we have to sometimes use our teeth. Or get a helper. See, her head turns real good. And her head seems a little bit floppy to me. It seems a little bit heavy. See, it's moving around. It doesn't usually do that. It's the glue. The glue is heavy, and it will dry inside the head, even though I put her head on already. So there's Emmy. And here is JC. No, that's not JC. Who is that? Maybe it's JC. Is it JC? It's this doll right here, whichever one this is. Yeah, JC. That somehow does not look like JC's hands. That is not JC. That is some other doll. What doll is that? See, this is why. Is that Kyrie's hands? No, Kyrie's not finished. I know it's not Sylvia. I know it's JC. I know it is. Because I looked at the arms and I laid them over to the side. I remember doing it. It's JC. I certainly thought she had different looking hands than that, but okay. Well, it goes to show how good my memory is. Not very good, that's how. See, I can't push this way. It won't push. That's why I have to use my teeth. That does not look like JC's limbs to me. JC, are you on the right body? I'm going to look that up. See what her limbs look like. This does not look right. Somehow in my mind, I'm thinking this is wrong. I'm going to look JC up. Where's those limbs? Yeah, I knew it. These are not her limbs. Her limbs look like this. There's her two hands. Now look at her two hands. They're different. I bet these are Sylvia's limbs. Ugh. Okay, I got to go on a hunt over here for the right limbs for this doll. Lavender. Lavender. Paisley. Lavender. Mary. 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 JC, I betcha. No, that's Lavender. Okay. I don't get it. I don't get it. They don't have their right limbs. I'm thinking possibly. Okay. I'm thinking possibly these limbs are supposed to be JC's. I know these are Maya's legs. I know they are. Oh well, guess what's going to happen? She's getting those limbs and she's getting these limbs. I'm not changing them. I don't know why they have different limbs, but they just do. But that's okay. They work. They absolutely work. So, okay. These are Kyrie's limbs. Celeste and Paisley have 3/4 limbs. And Case has also 3/4 limbs. So, okay, I don't get it. Maybe I put, there's a lot of limbs on this thing. Okay, I forgot this lid had limbs on them as well. Let's see who we have here. Sylvia. And these must be Sylvia's legs. Yes, these are Sylvia's limbs. Who is not rooted yet. Those are Sylvia's. Mary's are already stuffed. I saw them in the bin. So these would be Case's then. Yeah, these are Case's limbs. Also not stuffed. We'll stuff these right fast. And they're going to have those limbs. They're probably not their correct limbs, but you know what? Okay, I'm good with that. I don't even know how they got those limbs. I don't know whose limbs JC has ended up with. But they're going to work, that's all I know. With the fact that I often change limbs anyway, it's not such a big deal, not really, except that, I don't know. I'd like to know where JC's limbs are. Those are not them. That's all I know. But these are Case's little limbs. They're super cute. I don't care that they're 3/4. I don't care. A lot of people do, but I don't. As a matter of fact, I like the way that 3/4 dolls sometimes come out because, well, you know, like when you get their clothes on, you can't tell it. And they pose better, and their arms and legs hang better a little bit. Possibly the reason they started out making them that way in the first place. And then, you know, people just started having la fits. I guess other companies were making dolls with full limbs. I don't know. But then Bountiful Baby changed and started discontinuing all the kits that had 3/4 limbs. I don't know why they didn't just change them to full limbs, but they didn't do that. They just got rid of the kits. And it's a shame because some of them are real nice kits. I really love Case and Presley and Asher and Thomas and Emma and a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them that have 3/4. Clyde. There's more. I just can't think of them right off the top of my head. They have 3/4 arms and full legs. But their legs are kind of like this. This is considered a full leg. But it's going on a 3/4 body.
Do every day?
Every day, all day. Anyway, get them stuffed here, get them ready to go.
Starts making some funny noises.
We better not break down, is all I got to say. We're going to be getting coolers and ice to keep our food from spoiling. Charlotte's case all stuffed. And now we're going to Sylvia, I think. Sylvia's got some kind of big limbs.
You got a box.
I did. Who's it from? Who's it from? I can't read it.
D-O-B-O Nursery. I don't know.
Who? Okay. It's from an individual. That's not a company. That's somebody's name of their something. I don't know.
Well, they didn't put an individual name on it.
Well, everybody has a name for their nursery. And they sometimes put that on there. I can't imagine what's in that big old box at all. Kind of big to be a kit or something. Sometimes people do put them in big boxes like that, though. We'll do that next. We'll open that box up. Phew, I am burning up. Sometimes you have to walk out there past her and then she'll run to the door. There. That is a long arm. Look how long that arm is. Okay, we're about to get the limbs stuffed. We're all caught up on that. So the next thing I'm going to do is open that box. And then I'm probably going to end this video because we're over an hour again. But I want to see what's in that box first. Because I don't know. Okay, let's put this head up here. And this head up here. Okay, let's get the box. DBOJ. I don't know what that stands for. Okay. Let's see what's in here. Maybe it's Frankie. I love Frankie's kit. He's so cute. He makes a cute, cute doll. If you've ever seen, I'm talking about Bountiful Babies sold out limited edition Charlotte. He looks kind of like an awake version of her to me. He's not supposed to be, but that's what he looks like. I think it is Frankie. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Some people do this. I don't know why. They send you candy in your box. But here's the kit. Let's see how he looks. He's not in, I guess this is his original bag. I can't tell. But he's sort of yellowed. See, he's an older kit, and he's sort of yellowed. This is something that should have been disclosed, that he's yellow. Look how yellow he is. He's laid around long enough that he's gotten yellow. It won't affect me painting him, but this is definitely something that should have been disclosed and was not. His kit's very clean. I love his open hands. He's got Charlotte hands. It says Charlotte on his rim. They share limbs. They've always shared limbs. These are his correct limbs. But look how yellow they are. Oh my goodness. He's going to be a darker baby automatically. Automatically, this will give you a darker skin doll. So, he's also got Charlotte legs. These are the same legs that Charlotte has got. I've got several Charlottes in the bedroom. And Neve, I guess is the name, shares Naomi's limbs. So if you ever want those limbs, you can order these kits and get it. Let's see what body she sent. Looks like the wrong body. Yep, it's the wrong body. We'll be switching that body. This is 4160. It's an older body because they don't have this body anymore. This is that body I was talking about. It's got 3/4 limb. This is that little 17-inch body. He needs a bigger body than this to begin with. I think he's a 20-inch kit. But this is that little 17-inch body. This is one that Thomas or Clyde would go on. Not right for Frankie, but I will keep it for another time when I need a body that size. And then here comes his head. I like Frankie very much. He has an expressive looking little face, and he makes a now he's rubbery feeling. His vinyl, I don't know. He does not feel right to me. His vinyl is very thin, very soft. It presses in super, super easy, like he's very, very thin. Man, I would not be surprised if this head busts open. I would not be surprised at all. He does not feel authentic to me. He looks authentic, but the feel of his vinyl feels different. I think he's authentic, but I don't remember vinyl being like this. Very, very thin like that. I've had quite a few Frankies. He's by far the thinnest Frankie I've ever had. I got some candy. Would y'all eat it? Do y'all think that people are okay and that the candy's okay? I'm gonna eat it. I want the candy, okay? It's fruit snacks. And they look okay. They don't look harmed in any way. And I like them. I like fruit snacks. They're good. All oats are good. Super soft and fresh and new. They're good. It's super nice when people give you stuff like that. Sometimes they give you diapers or a pacifier or something. Sometimes they give you candy. It's good. This one was tropical punch. It tastes like cherry to me. This one says berries and cherries, so it looks like blackberries, raspberries, cherries, and blueberries. I don't know. To create it too. But anyway, I'm going to probably seal Frankie today as well. I want to get started on him. Oh yeah, look at this, different colors in here, so it's different flavors. All these are different flavors, I guess. But I probably need to wait for some of these dolls to get off the table a little bit before I start working on new dolls. So probably I'm going to finish Kyrie. I may put off Zuri till tomorrow and seal Frankie. I sure want to work on Frankie. I love his kit. When if you saw Charlotte up next to him, you'd go, yeah, that's the open eye of Charlotte, but it's not. And I saw somebody had Neve or Nevea. I don't know how you say that name. It's heaven backwards. Listed on Reborns.com as Naomi with open eyes. They don't have a Naomi with open eyes. She looks that much like her, though. Seriously looks like her. As Frankie looks like Charlotte to me. So somebody might list a Frankie as Charlotte with open eyes. I don't know, because it says Charlotte on the limbs. It does. And then on the head it says Frankie. So a lot of people would say, I didn't get the right limbs, but these are the right limbs. Look how shiny that vinyl is. It's super shiny. It's going to really need some sealer on this doll. I love these limbs. They're sculpted limbs. They're not real-born limbs. But they look really good. I love the way the hands look. Here's the other one. The feet look kind of realistic too. And I like his expressive little frowns across his ridges on his forehead. I like those. I like him. He's cute. I have a Frankie already. I'm greedy. I needed another one. I paid a lot for this kit. It better work out. It better nothing happen to it in bacon or anything. But anyway, I'm going to end this video. It's 1 hour and 22 minutes now. I can see that on the screen because it's in red. And barely see the button I pushed to stop the video. But other than that, I see reflections. But anyway, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And come back for some more Typical Thursday.